Hello and welcome to Items On, the podcast where you get to follow your Melee personalities and players both on and off the sticks. My name is Ethiopium, and today our special cast is Chape. How are you doing today, homie?
Doing good.
Well,
had a good day. So yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, let's get straight into it. I want to just know, what were you doing before you got into Smash, and how did you find the Smash scene?
Okay. Before I came into Smash, I played Minecraft a lot. Because I'm a real zoomer. I'm 21. I played a lot of Minecraft. There's used to be like competing servers in that, like PvP. And there's like a ranked ladder and stuff. You got like top 150 in like one of those, like that season. And I would play a lot of PES, which is like FIFA, but like the other version.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like my life. Like I would just go to school, chill, come back home, play Minecraft or PES, and then reset. And I found out about Smash because when I was younger, I played Melee actually when I was like 4. And I found it like because one of my friends came to my house and we just like, yeah, well, how about GameCube? Let's play whatever, or Wii, I don't remember. We just plugged in Melee and we just start playing. And then I just like YouTube Googled it and I was like, oh, there's people that play this game. And I saw sets. I remember the first set I watched was like Mango Chilean Dude. And Mango was wearing like an Ash Ketchum hat. I don't remember what set that was, but I remember that. That was the first set I watched.
And then from there, you're just playing with the homies, playing with your friends, just casually.
Yeah, just casually.
When you watch those sets on YouTube, did you like say, "Oh, I want to like learn more about this game," or was there like a different time in your life where that came about?
I feel like when I was playing with like my homies, I already knew how to do like every tech. Like I kind of like saw that set and then I just got into like the loophole, just practicing by myself, like playing CPUs. And I just like investigated everything. And like I just as the time went on, my Melee disc like died. So I stopped playing for like 2 years. And I just played with CPUs at that time. It was 2015-ish. And then 2 years later, I got the computer I'm actually using right now to like play Melee. Because I kept following the scene and like watching streams and tournaments. But like I never like played on like another computer, for instance. I just like played on a laptop, on my dad's laptop actually, with like Minecraft.
So, you're from Chile, right? What part of Chile are you from?
Originally I'm from Coquimbo, which is let me see how much this is in American units.
You can say kilometers. You can let the people do the math for you,
Google it. Which is like 500 kilometers from like Santiago, which is where I live right now because of college. Because I moved here, and in Coquimbo there's no scene. I was like the only player that played. There was like another player, but we never like played each other because I was like 15. I was like, I don't know, it's kind of scary. And I would like travel 6 hours 12 hours total round trip for like going to tournaments. When I was in school. Then now I moved, which was 2020 when pandemic hit.
Perfect timing, yeah.
Yeah. There was like only online, so I just had to play online. That's fine. I don't mind it. I like grew up playing and grew up like competing and improving via just alternate play, which I never really minded. So like that didn't really matter for me.
So you were saying you were around 15 or 16 when you started like playing for real, and you're a little too young, especially with the lack of a scene. And you're talking about how you had to travel 6 hours there, 6 hours back. Was that when you were that young? And if so, I would love to hear like the story of how you got there. I mean, that must have been a trip back in the day,
Yeah, I started going to tournaments. Well, I always consider like whenever I started playing, when I started competing, my first tournament was when I created my Discord account, which is April 3rd, 2017. It was like that week I started playing. And then my first IRL tournament was November 2017. I won O2, the only time I've gotten O2. Tournament. Actually, no, I've gotten O2 like during those online tournaments, but I don't count those. Nah, I'm kidding. I won O2, and I came because I don't remember if my older brother graduated college at the time, or we just went there to like visit them because I have two older brothers which live here. And we just travel like by car with my dad and my mom and everyone else. To like leave them shit like food, supplies, and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm like. It coincided that there was a tournament that day, so I just went with my mom, and she just left me there, and she just waited for me till like lost, and when we going back home. And that continued to be a trend for a long time. 2018 happened the same thing. Like I will tell like, yeah, I have a tournament. I kind of want to go to this. If we can just like get like a time to go to the doctor, because where I'm from, doctors aren't that good. So like every good doctor is in Santiago, so we just travel to go to the doctor pretty much. And like it just those two like correlated each other to like me going to tournaments more frequently. And in 2019, I got braces, like the thing you put on your teeth.
Yep, braces.
Like,
yeah.
For them, yeah. I have braces put, and like here's Santiago, so I had to travel monthly here, either in bus or like car. And most of the times, it just like thought like there was a monthly. Okay, I'm just gonna go to the monthly, and in the morning of the tournament, I'll just go like do the monthly checkup they had to do, and I just went to the tournament.
So when you had so much space in between tournaments, you know, when you're going for like, you know, your monthly braces appointment or something, were you just playing on like, you know, on the computer a lot, solo practicing a lot? Were you like addicted? Were you playing every day, or were you just show up to these tournaments here and there? What was your mindset during that time?
There was like, okay, I want to give you like a bit of context.
Please, yeah.
One of my biggest motivations at the time when I started playing was that there was a really good top player down here at the time, and that was Gino. You probably might not have heard of him because he was like pretty underground. But Gino had like a period of dominance, like an incredible period of dominance, where like he was untouchable. So like I would just like sit down at my house, like watch Chilean tournaments, and see like, dude, this guy doesn't lose. How does like everyone go to a tournament every month, not improve anything, and just not beat him? I'm like, okay, my goal is beating Gino, and I just had that in my head like for a long time. So like I studied him, I studied all other top players. So like if I had the chance to go through a bracket run, I would just like have all of them studied. So like I would improve my chance of playing Gino, who was the person I studied most. And I just like solo practiced. I played every day. Like I came from school, so I left high school at like 5:30. Well, 5, and I arrived home at like 6. So I just played for an hour, and then I watched YouTube, and then went to bed. I was always really good at like school, so like I never had to study. I only started studying like recently for school. Now in college, and I just used that time to like watch VODs. I remember watching like sitting down. You remember those old videos like Armada used to put a like hour video of analysis Fox versus NX. Yeah. I used to like watch all of them. I had like a playlist of like 50 of them that I watched. And that's how I improved them. They were really fast. And I remember the one analysis that changed me forever was one that Tafo did of Cody versus HBox. Because that was like one that taught me how to full hop, and full hopping at that time was fucking broken. It was busted.
Yeah.
It still is. But like at that time, no Fox full hop down here, and I was the only one, and I just legit beat so many people just like full hop back airing and having like a solid set grab like flowchart and follow ups. That was like my specialty, like flowcharting like combo stuff and full hop back airing.
So I want to ask you a little bit, because you were talking about this player Gino who you know, spurred you to get better at this game so you can finally beat this person. Did you go on to beat them before you moved?
Yeah.
And what was that feeling like? That must have been such like, you know, a weight off of your shoulders, or was it like, you know, joy and exuberation?
I remember it had like a better feeling because 2018 I went to a tournament, and in my pool Gino was there. So we play around rowing pools, for instance. That was like one of the biggest tournaments of the year, so like 50 people. And I was like, okay, this is my chance. I can't ball it. And we played on pools. I feel like everyone else on the pool, because I'm sorry, they were bad. Even at the time. and Gina Lee too. Like they swapped it like 2-0 everyone, and we played our set. I win game 1. I'm like, I'm shaking so much.
Yeah.
And I took like a moment. We win game 2. We go last stock, last hit, last stock. I had like a super easy like run off shine that would have won me the set, and I missed it, and I lost the entire set. I got destroyed game 3, and I was so sad. And then I was like, this shit can't happen again. And then I had to wait till like April 2019. Yeah. And I was the same day, the day before I had put braces, so like it hurts. My mouth hurt a fuck ton through the entire tournament.
I bet.
And then once again, I had my pool Gino. And that time I beat him 2-0. I was like, yes, let's fucking go.
Let's go.
And the funniest part is when he beat me, when I was leaving the tournament, because my mom came and picked me up, I told him, I'm going to beat you next time. You're not getting a free one. And I was like, okay, I'll wait for you. And I was like, I got to do it. And then I won.
That's awesome. You know, I was researching the Chilean scene a little bit, and I was surprised actually the size of it. I mean, I think I looked at over 80 players that were in that scene. You said, you know, Santiago has a bigger scene. Can you describe the Chilean scene in depth a little bit? I'd love to learn more about it.
Yeah, very well. Soon now actually. The biggest scene is obviously Santiago, because half of the entire population of the country lives here in Santiago. And the other like big regional scene is like Concepcion, which is 500 kilometers south of Santiago. And there's like a smaller scene of like 20 players, more or less, even less ish. And we have a lot of players. I think right now we're struggling a lot getting like newer players, but we're really top heavy. Like you can just go to a bracket and play like me, Male, Riken, and I was like, oh, you played 3 top 100 caliber players. Just like existing. You're gonna see like players that are like gold 2-2 here, just like pop out somewhere else. Like we have a Dr. Mario player, or like he play whatever. His tag is Devils, T-Pose, whatever. And he went to like study in Boston. And I think he'd be like Dudutsai, and he used to go like 0-2 here like all the time. It's like it's really top heavy. And there's not many like players that are like pushing like the what's the word? Like pushing the high, like the top tippity top players here. But there's like a lot like in the door, like they're just gonna make like 1 or 3 adjustments and they'll get really good really soon.
Do you think like the scene there is, you know, a bunch of like guys who've been around for a long time? And if so, what's keeping them inside that Chilean scene? Because, you know, here we see a lot of people come and go throughout the years, and it seems like you have like a tight knit group of people who are grinding year in, year out, you know, playing the game that they love.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that have been playing for a long time. There's like players that have been playing since like 05, 03, and they're still like coming to tournaments, showing up sometimes. I feel like most of like the reasoning of coming back for those type of players is like they just like been with the same other people for so long. They just like use Melee as an excuse to get with each other and just hang out.
Yeah.
As for me, I'm like, I feel like younger and newer players, it's just like we all just want to get better. Especially me, I just want to be the best. So like I just keep coming back and just playing with everyone.
So you were talking about how you moved for school. Can we get into that a little bit? What are you studying? How's it going?
I study civil engineering, and I moved here because my SKUs, let me think how I want to say this. I never really, I was really a really good student in school, and I really never studied, so I really never liked it. So like I was like, sure, I'll just go to like our like SAT, I think it's somewhere. America, yeah. I did like kind of good in the SAT. I was like, okay, I got like in a really good college, so I'll just go to that with excuse like, okay, I want to play Melee this year. And then I joined college, and it was like, oh, pandemic, cool. And we have online for like a year and a half of classes. I never really enjoyed it till like last semester, actually. But I was like, if I don't study like anything else here, I don't really know what I would study. But because I need to like study like live for the future because mail is not gonna pay the bills.
Yeah.
On like 20 more years, Well, it doesn't have like a plan B or a plan A or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'd be doing good. I think I'm projected to like finish my studies 2026, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
And yeah.
So, you were talking about how you're excited to move there to play Melee, and you moved there in 2020, right? And then, something else happened called COVID, and that probably derailed a lot of the things that you're excited to go to. What was your mindset when the COVID pandemic hit, and how were you able to still, be in the Melee scene, if you were able to do that at all, or did you just take a complete step back?
No, I just grinded my ass off during the pandemic. I feel like a lot of like older people stopped playing, or like they played but they were like not care at all. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, because at the time, 2019, I got ranked 14 Chile, I think. Yeah, 14. And in January 2020, I went to a tournament and got like grants without dropping a game, and I beat Reckon, which at the time was like top 10. I beat Dark for the first time, and I beat HP, who was like top 5 too. And I was like, oh, I'm pretty good. And then I lost grants to like Dark again. And I was like, yeah, I feel like I can get way better, and there's a bit of catching up I have to do. And the pandemic was like the best excuse, because like since many people just like stopped playing, or like they started playing even more, it was like a opportunity for me to like catch up to like the players that were above me. And I was not even the best at the time, so like there was no excuse to like not grind, because I needed to catch up to people. So like I used it for like motivation, and then eventually it just paid off.
So did Slippy help in any way? I mean, I don't know what the connection is like out, because I assume you can't connect to the States probably, but you could probably connect into some of Latin America, or
Yeah.
How did that help? Did that help at all? Or were you still just, playing maybe, direct with people?
Yeah, it helped a lot, because in the pandemic with another friend, Kocha, we just organized a lot of tournaments. And the biggest tournaments that has happened in South America were those series of tournaments that me and Kocha organized. And those involved a lot of like Brazilian scene and the Argentinian, the Peru not so much, because they never like entered Uruguay and Paraguay. Like a lot of those scenes came together just because of Slippy, and we've just made a lot of like sick tournaments because of it. We made most of them is like the Smash Bong series. We just like took random major names and put Bong in it, like T-Bong. Yeah. We made it the Bong House, Bong Genesis, the Smash Bong Summit. We did it like a lot, and they were all like insanely stacked. We broke like every record, honestly, and that helped a lot, because there are like not many matchups you get to play like here, I guess. And there are a lot of like other styles that happen. Like I feel like and I also got to like play someone that I watched, one of my first bots, Isengo Bay. He was one of the first players I watched play in like Melee. I'm excited to play a guy I watched play like fucking 5 years ago, and now I'm playing him. And I got to play Isen a couple of times. He beat me once or twice, I don't remember. And then I beat all of the other stuff. Humble brag. And then a lot of like random top players from like other countries, or like good players, will come to like South America for whatever reason. Like Shaolun from France just came randomly to Argentina last year, and we just played a lot.
That's awesome.
Even Amita from Kentucky lives in Peru, and we just play a lot too, just because of Slippy. I definitely think it helped a lot for like getting other people that used to dislike non-rollback net play to like play again. And I feel like that's the biggest like impact. But like, even if it was not like if the net play like normally would not be present, I feel like I still want to play. Like I played like the same like net play for like fucking 3 years at the time. So I was like, I don't really care. I'm gonna play regardless.
So I would love to ask you a little bit more about the South American scene in general. We talked about the Chilean scene a bit, but I think a lot of players, wouldn't be able to name, players from Argentina or Uruguay or other countries. I think the first question I'd love to ask is, what do you think of the South American scene in general, and how do you think is a great way to grow that scene? Because I feel like it's, something that A is understudied and underlooked at because there's some incredible players, and B can be developed more and grow, the scene out there.
Yeah, that's a kind of tough question because Brazil's a really big country.
Yeah.
And like they probably play mainly in like 2 like cities.
Mm-hmm.
I know Brasilia has a team because Caio lives there. And Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, like that part, also have a scene because most of the top players live there. I think Slippy helps a lot in like getting people into like, trying the game and then pushing them to like go play offline events. I feel like that helps a lot for us. Brazil not so much because like they have a lot of routing issues and like sometimes you can connect from like a friend 2 houses away and you have like 300 ms because internet providers. So that only happens in Brazil. In Chile, we just play. I used to play Lupino, who lives in Punta Arenas. Punta Arenas is like this most southern point you can get to like Antarctica, pretty much. And we used to play like that connection, and we had like 50 ping.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. We play like to 1,000 kilometers, something like that. I think a bit more.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, around there.
Yeah, I think that's around there. Probably more. And Argentina, I feel like they're a really young scene, and pandemic kind of hit them a lot because one of their top players at the time, and I think it still does. I think he plays Ultimate now, and like there are not many like people that are willing to organize or just like move down from things. Because responsibilities become a bigger thing as you grow older. As for Chile, we just struggle a lot with like getting new players to play. I feel like one of like the most important things is probably having weeklies to like go, but I think it's kind of hard because the demand to like going to weeklies, like LAN weeklies, is like I don't think it's pretty big, but it's like a lot of effort of like going out of a job and like organizing because our TOs are like kind of old in the sense that they're like 28, 30-ish.
Yeah. And
there's no like younger, there are no like really young people that want to like organize, they all want to play, including me. And it's kind of hard like moving around, like finding venues that are like kind of close to each other and like close to a metro station. I think that's kind of tough. I feel like we had a really good year last year because we have like online weeklies and that was helped a lot, but we're like we kind of stopped doing them because just like got burnt out and just I don't know, it's kind of weird, just like
yeah,
just get burnt out for like doing it a while. We got like 80 tournaments ish.
Oh yeah, I can understand that. Yeah. I guess does that worry you a little bit, trying to find the new players to keep the scene going? And if so, like, is that, you're talking about how you want to be a player and you're doing a great job of that. Does it worry you that you might have to step into more of a TO role to keep things going, or?
I don't think it really worries me a lot because even if they're not like a lot of like newer players, we still have like a bunch that like still play, like I have my friend group that I play every day, and like we have a Discord and we play like between every top player, even though it's like not that active as someone I would like to be, but it's good enough, like I'm already like playing at such a disadvantage from like not being in like the States. I'm getting on rank, I'm playing random top player 50 that I just like can't really like be really like negative about it. I just gotta accept it, like even if like we start getting like lesser players like joining into the scene and like the ones that are still here like start quitting, I feel like then I would set up a step up, or like I would have it organizing the stuff again. And I've been wanting to do that for a bit. Just like someday I just like woke up and I was like, yeah, I should make a weekly. I don't really want to stream it though, because I don't like streaming that much, like Melee especially. But eventually my tournaments will probably come back and like we'll probably organize more stuff as time goes on. But I'm not really worried at the time. I'll worry if like current people start quitting, like TOing and stuff.
Yeah. I would like to touch on something you said, which is you wish that you are at a disadvantage because you don't get to run into, a top player on unranked or whatever. But that's something you can't get angry at. That's something that you have to accept. Was that something that you had to learn to accept, or was that something that came easy to accept? Because I know a lot of players, especially when you've been playing for a while, they get, obstacles or roadblocks and they stay there for years even. And that seems like a very big obstacle or roadblock that could bring frustration. I'd love to get into your mindset about that.
Okay, let me add out something I said just then. Riken quit like TOing and he used like our head TO, but like we have another, so we're fine.
Okay, shout out Riken.
Going into the question. Shout out to Riken.
Yep.
Like go.
Yeah, legend.
I learned to accept it after I traveled for the first time. But before, I already had accepted like, yeah, I don't get top players, so I just gotta do my thing. But like once you travel, like my what's the word? Like my mindset after I traveled was like I was like in Florida playing Fluff last night, and now I'm here playing Unranked with like this old tour, and then they don't deserve to play me. And I was like, this a big like ego thing that just like went on. I was like, what am I thinking? Like, it's all even been like this. Like, having like one break that I've gained from like that I've awarded myself from like being better than like everyone, and just grinding my ass off has paid off to like get this reward of playing top players. And I should just keep doing the thing. I think that's a really hard thing to accept, and it's happened every time I've traveled like and came back. It's like, oh, I just gotta play this guy again for like the 10th time. I just want to play like more people that are even in the same skill level. Like I don't want to say it gets boring, but it gets like repetitive, like playing the same 3-5 players like every week, and then just like, yeah, I just need to do this to beat him because his habits are like this.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you're like over there, just like play like 5 different players that are completely different contexts, and like play, even if they play the same character, they play like exactly opposite styles and they do like opposite stuff. I feel like that's really important, and that's like one of the biggest like disadvantages I'm at. Like I just need like the time I don't get to play those players, I need to put it like studying their habits, just like I get to like have a chance to play them or like a chance to beat them, if that's a better word.
Yeah. I would love to ask you a couple questions on that. First is I would love to get into your first time traveling internationally. Can you get into when was that and how was the experience like?
Okay, this is something not many people know. My first tournament I won was in Argentina because I was on vacations with my family there.
Really?
I don't really count. Yeah, I won that without dropping games.
Let's go.
I don't really count that because like.
What year was that?
Also, the last 2020.
Oh, okay.
March 2020. Yeah.
Okay.
That was like the last tournament. Like, if I would have if we would have stayed like one more day, we would have gotten like stuck in Argentina because of like the restrictions because of COVID.
Yeah,
it was like the last tournament they did before COVID, and they won that. But like the Smash World Tour was like a dream. I think it's fine to say it now. It's canceled. We had like online qualifiers that we had to play off stream because of like Nintendo stuff. I don't really care. The Slippy still exists, so one day I'll probably upload all of them. And I can probably do that too. And we played like the qualifiers, and me and HP got first and second. I won pretty solidly, honestly, because my biggest roadblock at the time got upset, which was Male, and he still is.
Mm-hmm.
He got upset, and he was on my bracket path. And then I had to play Riken, and I just beat him. And it was a not close set because I feel like he was like hyper pressuring himself. So like I was just abused that because I could feel that because of like the circumstances. Like you're playing for like the biggest opportunity of your life, pretty much. Like you travel to America, you get like everything paid, and it's like crazy. And I remember like the day I was gonna take the flight, I couldn't sleep. I was like, I've been wanting this for like all my time that I've been playing. Like all the stuff I have done to this point culminated to this, and it was like magical. Like traveling by myself for the first time, getting stuck in like airports, like going through customs, having like going to the hotel for the first time. Like I didn't come to like the weekend of Smash World Tour. I came like 2 weeks before because I just had like I passed all my classes and I just like wanted to go like the first week. So like I just wanted to like play a lot while I was there. And the first night I had to stay to the hotel and my reservation got canceled the first day and I was in America.
Oh my God.
It was like crazy. I was 19 and it's like, oh, I was one of the worst times of my life. And like the experience of like sitting yourself in another country, like by yourself for like, even if a day and missing back home is it's so tough. And I suffered that my first 2 days. And then I stayed with my dad's cousine. I don't know what's the word.
Yeah, that's it.
And I stayed with her, who had lived in near Orlando for like a couple of years at that point. And I stayed with her, and I had never met her, like, ever. And I just got to meet family I've never met. It was crazy. And I net play there at her place. It was really cool. I got to like practice a lot of matches, like never even practice, like Fox Peach.
Yeah.
Like there's no peaches here. I can't like practice. And I had to learn the matchup. I got farmed by every peach. It was terrible for my mental. I pressured myself so much. I was like, I'm here. I went everything back home. Now I'm watched. Like, what's going on here? And I had to like go through a lot of like all of the journey had gone through like 2017 to like 2021 when I was consolidated as a top player, happened in like span of 2 weeks. It was crazy. And that like those 2 weeks probably were like the moment a switch came into my head of like accepting like everything. I like, okay, we're back to square one. There's no rush. We can just do it at our pace. Like, no, doesn't matter. Like, we don't need to get like crazy stuck on like I need to win everything. Like, that's unreal. Like, just gotta take it at a time. Wow.
I'd love to ask you one question on that, which was how you dealt with the pressure, because you had to have a lot of pressure on you going into the qualifier, which you successfully dealt with. And then B, traveling to a new country, under the circumstances with all the pressure just in game, let alone out of game, must have been a lot to deal with, especially at a young age. I mean, how are you able to deal with that pressure? Was it a learning process? And did that translate to other aspects of your life, that learning experience?
Yeah. I want to make like a step back and from like the December part of the story of like me in America.
Sure.
In February, there was a really big tournament at the time. It broke like the record of the most people attending a tournament. Like, it was an online one. And all my 2020 was just like me getting second and third to HP and the other top player, or whatever, or Rocket, or like HP and Reiken, or HP and someone else, or Mom and Reiken. Like, I used to get like farms like so much. I always got to like top 3. I never won, and I was like such a big mental like barrier how to break. And I was pretty much I messaged Gino, because Gino's the guy that won everything. If I want to surpass it, like legacy at the time, because he was retired, he's still retired. I want to like pass his legacy. I just gotta talk to the guy who like dude did all of those. And I talked with him like for like 2 hours in a voice chat, and just probably changed my life. Wow. He like taught me like how to like take care of myself, because I'm really hard on myself. Like, if I miss like an up smash or whatever, I just like, I'm trash. I should never be able to play this game again or whatever at the time.
Yeah.
And he taught me like, no, that's bad. I'll do it. You just gotta be like not too hard on yourself and like accept sometimes. It's like, yeah. And I learned that and I won the big tournament, and like from there I just started winning everything. I was like, that mental switch was like incredible for me, and it's helping like outside of Melee too. And for the Smash World Tour, Gino had traveled when he was like his peak to like Smash on Splash, and he got like 97. It was a really big shock for me. I was like, oh, this guy is really good here, and he's just like terrible there. Imagine how good they are. Like, oh, I'm like, got really excited when I saw it. I'm really excited at the same time, because I want to see him succeed. See my favorite player.
Yeah.
And I talked to him like, I don't really the tournaments for me was a lot of pressure, because I really wanted to do well, because going there you get so many chances to like travel and like what's the word, to like travel and prove to yourself and the people that you are like worth investing in. Because I feel like that's like a big point, because just like travel once, go like 0-5 in like Smash World Tour case, just probably like, oh, this guy just came here and he just went to like a vacation.
Yeah.
He didn't come to compete on it, pretty much. And I had a lot of pressure in myself. Like, I just gotta win one set or like take a game. He was like, dude, don't worry, chance will come. And no really insane player like did it on his first try, only Armada. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I was like, yeah, I just gotta like put myself on like the feet on the ground, like not put my expectations so high for that time. and regulate them in a way so I like don't over like pressure myself and have fun, like enjoy the moment. Because like that's probably never gonna happen again, and it probably never will.
Yeah.
But like go into a tournament and you see like you walk into the venue and you see, oh, I've seen this guy in like on Twitch like for 7 years and I'm now meeting him in person. It's crazy. And that was like a lot of like into my mind of like taking care of myself, thinking like I was worthy of like playing the game, and like enjoying the moment. I think like that's the most important thing, like enjoying the game, because that's why we play. Honestly, we don't play for like glory. We just play for like having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Even if glory is like a byproduct of that, you know. That's like how I dealt with the pressure, I guess.
Yeah, I totally understand that. That's very interesting how you had that talk with Gino and how that, opened up your mindset towards dealing with the pressure. Were there any people in the States that you talked to when you were, I'm sure you got so much, advice or help, whether it be in game or out of game. Are there any people specifically that helped you grow as a player? And when you made that journey in 2021?
Yeah, I guess Chape Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
I was so tired of getting like farmed over like every peach, and Cody was at Summit because I used to take Cody lessons for like in 2020, which was something that pushed me a lot. I took like 1 or 2 with him, and Cody. I really want to take a lesson with Cody because they always work. I was like, I'm so tilted. I can't wait for Cody to come back from Summit because Smash World Tour is the next week, and there's like 3 peaches in the tournament. And then I messaged Shep, and we just had a lesson, and he like taught me a lot. And then we just ever since then just like talk a lot, like as friends. He's helped me a lot, like in game pretty much. And also like Smash World Tour helped me like meeting so many top players that I can just message them. I'm like, let's say, oh, I have trouble with this. What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
That happened a lot with Polish. Would just like randomly message him like melee question. He would and they would give me like the best response ever. I'm like, oh, that's clear a lot of doubts.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Like that.
Yeah. Shout out to Polish. I got to play some games with them at Riptide. Super nice person. So
yeah. Polish to go.
So you did some traveling as well in 2022, and I saw you. One of the best sets of the year in 2022 was your set. Unfortunately, you didn't come out on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100 grand, which is a Midwest legend. I'm from the Midwest, so I'm from Michigan. Yeah. And so 100 grand versus Chape. It was one of the sickest sets. I'll link it at the end of the video for people to watch. But you were traveling a lot of different places all over, getting to play. I think in July you made a visit here. Then October, November you were here. What was that experience like?
First of all, shout out to Meta Stats. I feel like they were convinced in like investing in me because of the Spark Win set, which has happened in Smash World Tour.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, another opportunity to change my life. I went there in July and December. Just a little bit correction.
Okay, sorry, apologies.
Yeah, no worries. I went to Vegas for Double Down, the first tournament that week. The second week, I went to California because my godfather lives there. And I had not seen my godfather since 2007. And I got to meet them again just because of Melee. Let's go, Melee.
Let's go, Melee.
And I talked to them like recently a lot because they are like living there and like you always want to talk with them. They're like, because at the time I was like their little kid when I was like a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And then after like that, like what's the word? Like standby phase and like of like being in California, I went to Minnesota. Shout out to Utost who flew me out.
Shout out Utost
for him, and he housed me for like 2 weeks to go. And then he drove me and Amonzi. We went to Invincible in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And then Invincible, I went to that. I got like top 8 without dropping games. And in my set with Q ? My fob broke. And game 1, I couldn't that fast.
No.
And my controller broke mid set. And I swapped controllers mid set and I won somehow. And then I played Hondo twice, and I got farmed because I switched the controller mid set. I was no way of beating him.
yeah. Wasn't as good of a set for sure, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I got second out. I was pretty like satisfied with my performance. I definitely thought I could have won. I did beat Morse. As a fun fact, me and Morse Code during 2021, 2022, we played net play. We played 165 MS Melee, and that was the only top Melee practice I got for like that year.
That's awesome. That sounds something like Morse code would do. Shout out Morse. He's a Michigan guy, so he's a legend.
Yeah, shout out to Morse. He's a legend. And we just played a lot in that time. And I got really good at that matchup too. And it was really cool to like finally play him in like non-shitty connection. Play on LAN.
That's so awesome.
Like, I finally could see him like aerial interrupt and down smash me. I always got like teleported, down smash. I was like, oh, I'm upstage now. I died. Anyways, then there was 4M and I had like a lot of like mental thing. Like, okay, I lost a hundo. I need to like adjust some stuff, like get in the right mindset. Because when I played him, I was like already like, oh, my controller, bro. Like I'm not feeling it, you know. I'm just probably gonna lose. I kind of want to play more. So I was like, oh, yeah, I was being a baby, and it got farmed. And during the week, I just had like a lot of mental adjustments because I saw like I got seated 9th or like 10th at like 4 a.m. and I was like, I'm better than this. I'm gonna fuck up everyone. And then I just like got mentally on the mental space, and I just like beat Mech. I went game 5 with Ben, and I said that I shouldn't have gone game 5. If you've seen that, so you know why.
We'll let the viewers watch that one.
Yeah, I'll watch the game 4. I remember like laughing my ass off when that happened. And the camera, like probably like, oh, he's popping off. I was fucking laughing.
Yeah,
I was having a great time. And then in loser, I beat Henry. And a fun fact, I played Henry 2021. Henry, a lowercase hero, by the way.
Yep.
For the viewers that don't know, Wisconsin GOAT, my doubles partner at the time too.
Yeah,
we played doubles.
Super homie.
Yeah, super homie. And we just played. And we played like netplay, and I never got that destroyed ever in the day. I got like farmed, so I was kind of scared, and I beat him anyways.
Out of way.
And then I played Eddie, and I was waiting for an Eddie set for like 2 years because I've coached Luigi from like not knowing to wave dash to being like top 15 here. So I'm probably like one of the best Fox players versus Luigi in the world, and I just needed a shot to like prove myself. And I beat Eddie 3-1, and I was really happy at the time. And then I played Hundo. I was like, rematch. I was like, okay, this is the time. And then I'm not gonna spoil this, but we all know how it happens. And then they already know I lost. So I'm not gonna spoil it. The circumstance. So like after the set, I was like destroyed. I think I cried for like an hour. I sat down by myself for like the rest of the tournament. And I remember Bobby came up to me like, "Oh, can you warm me up?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." I was like 2 hours after I lost. I warmed him up, and Soppy like destroyed him. He beat me like 2 minutes. And I was like, I feel so bad for giving like shitty warm up. I was like, I couldn't care. And I went like by myself alone again.
So do you think that you're like really tough on yourself? Because like those, I mean, is that something that you're working on, or do you think that's something that you need in order to like push yourself to get better? Because some players like they need a little bit of that like type of like hatred almost, or like self-doubt or self like I don't know self masochism, for lack of a better word. You know,
I feel like it's really important for me because if I'm not like, I can just be like, yeah, I was super lazy this week, I don't really care. But like if I'm just like pushing myself to like improve, it's really important because I need to catch up pretty much. I need to catch up to Zane and Cody pretty much. And if I'm not like pushing myself every day to do this, like it's getting longer. The way it's like pushing a day is like so much distance that I have to cover in like little time. That's kind of really tough to like catch up to like other players. I know they're like slightly better than me, like 1 or 2 steps better than me. And it's like a lot of like distance I need to cover in a short period of time. So I just need to like push myself by like, I don't want to say like, I feel like it's more like envy from like other players than like hatred, but sometimes it's a measure of both, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, like hatred I made in my mind of like, I want to beat this guy no matter what. So I think that's important for me at least.
What when you say envy, what are you envious about? Are you envious about the, you know, getting the win? Like, I want to be number 1 and they're number 1. Is it like, I think I'm better than that guy, but they showed up and I didn't? Where does that envy stem from? The second one?
Yeah,
I saw you nod.
These guys are like, they play like they can go to like every major for like a week, and then if they lose, they're just like they get another chance the next month. Like for me, it's like you lose a major or a regional, and you're just like, I don't got another chance to prove me for like another year.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta hold that L for like a long time. And I think that's really important. Like having to like understanding like your shortcomings, or like if I lose here, I'm probably not gonna come back for another year, and I need to like use that year to like make sure this doesn't happen again. For
Mm-hmm.
like this period of time that happens between weeks or like between days to not never happen again. I feel like that's been like a common factor, and like every time I've like competed, like it happened like in my second LAN tournament where I got gamed by a Pikachu for like 10 times. I'm like, I'm never losing a Pikachu again. I lost with him again, but I haven't lost with him like 40 sets.
That's how it goes against Pikachu sometimes. I feel you. I feel you.
Shout out to Nelson.
Tito. So I have a question on that then, which is, I think the disadvantages are obvious when you're, not in a place or a region that has a lot of monthlies or regionals or majors that you can go to. But do you think that there are any advantages to that? I mean, because you're able to take that step back and have this committed period of time where you grind on these specific flaws and shortcomings. Do you think that that's advantageous, or do you think it's just all bad and you just, you don't really see a positive in it?
No, they're positives because you just like play the same people. So like you just know what they're looking for and what they're punishing you for. So like it's really like what's the word? I forgot the word. It's really like tunnel vision. You can tunnel vision a lot, like finding the solution like super easily because you just see the games and like since you play the same person like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, just like realize all like the errors you're doing because their same situations are coming up. I feel like that's a really virtue of like being here. I try to like see like a lot of virtues here, so I just don't get like super left in mode and like start saying, "Oh, my community is shit." But they're not shit because they're cool.
Yeah, and
they make tournaments and like we hang out and we're all pretty much friends. At least that's what I want like to think. And like I feel like that's important. We also have like probably one of the best modders, like controller modders here, so like it's pretty much fine.
I was gonna ask you about that because I assume like the logistics of stuff must be harder, just because like at least maybe more back in the day, not now, with a lot more like online ordering. Like you can order a fob online from someone, but back in the day, you used to have to know someone who knew someone, or you had to get lucky on eBay or something like that with an OEM.
Yeah.
So, but I do know that you have some of like you have one of the controller modders if you want to go shout them out. Like. Is that like a thing that you have to deal with? I see, a box behind you, like, like what's the mindset in terms of logistics when it comes to Chilean Smash?
You just message like Betis, the goat, my goat. I came from his house like just now, actually.
Really? Word.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Shout out. He started like doing it like I always tell this story because it's so ridiculous. It happens the week. Because before Smash World Tour, I had like exam periods, and for like exam periods, we get like 5 days off. So I just went to Coquimbo those days, and in those 5 days, I was gonna grind like a demon, and basically just like started notching controllers, and I was playing on a plain OEM, so I just told him, "Oh, can you notch me this? I need to have it for Friday. This is like Wednesday," and he notched like fully Firefox notch in like 2 days.
Wow,
it was crazy. And he just did that. I'm forever like grateful for that. And I always tell him like, dude, I don't like whenever I just bring controllers out. I'm like, dude, I don't care if you take like a month or two. You did that. I'm forever grateful. I don't really care if you take your time. And he still like does all my controllers. I've gotten like fobs from like I got fobs from Plants, which I bought like July.
Yeah.
And I got a Goombay for Riem, but like and I bought a fob and like Double Down. Because some guy was like, "Yeah, I saw fops or team," because he didn't have fops at the time. But like, he notches every controller or like does my C clicks. He like, because I C jump by the way.
Oh, okay.
He like remapped an OEM to like C jumping, and I was like, if you weren't here, I couldn't play on OEM. Yeah, how about OEM?
I have no idea how to do that. I'm ignorant when it comes to controllers, but that's crazy. It's always funny how like. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Whenever I open the controller, I see like a square with like 3 cables like remap. I was like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's always funny how like for every like cool tournament story, there's always like a controller guy behind it, like the homie who's like, "Yo, he hooked me up with my stick box broke like a week ago, and he hooked me up with the nicest one, and then I won it." So it's always cool to shout out the controller homies.
Yeah, I got this like frame one from like some guy on Instagram. Like, someone messaged me that post, and like I messaged the guy. I was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of interested in getting a box." But, like, I used to have a box that Rocket made one, and I sold it. And I never got like another rectangle. Because I was in the pressure mode of controllers. I was like, yeah, I'm grinding keyboard. When I hate grinding keyboard because like I can't take like the setback of like learning the thing again. But I just have this for like a bit.
Yeah.
I got it in the mail the other day because it broke, because I had it for like March. It broke and I had to like give it to the guy again.
I wanted to touch on one thing that you said a little earlier back, which was you know, where you're talking about how you only feel like you're 1 or 2 steps behind and you want to catch up to the guys like Zayn and Cody, who are, you know, right now the 2 best in the world, I would say. Is that your goal? Is because you are young. I mean, I believe you're only 21, right? So, yeah, which is incredible. The resume you have at that age is unbelievable, especially with your circumstance. That's so sick, dude. But I mean, is that the main goal for you? Do you think that that's what you want to reach, that upper echelon where you're winning super majors and competing for the win every time you plug in?
Yeah, I definitely want to get to that point. I don't think I'm like too far away, but I'm far. Like, I wouldn't say 1-2 steps. When I said that, I was like referring to like the top 50 players.
Got you.
I feel like I'm arm's reach from them, but like those guys are like other country, like other world. But I can just catch up to them. Like, do like my work correctly and just do what I have to do. But I eventually want to like get on like the stage and like win tournaments and lift trophies. I feel like that like impacted me a lot when I saw Redacted now win every Smash 4 tournament, and knowing that he was from my country.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, if this guy can do it, I can do it too. And I was like, that mindset like shaped me a lot into like wanting like to do the best I could do and give the best out of me. And a lot of my struggles this year actually was like I was not giving, my heart was not like into like competing. I was just there because like I went money, so I just gotta get money. Like, you know, I was showed up for like getting paid. That's not really the point for like half a year, and I just solved that problem like somewhat recently, I guess. I like learned about that, but it's really cool.
What did you do in order to solve that problem? Was it just more mentality things?
Yeah, most of my problems are always like mental, more than like melee. Melee like in game. I was in Coquimbo at the time, and Coquimbo's Santiago is like a city in like between like mountains, so it's like it's a hole. It's like the Attack on Titan like city. It's kind of like that, but with no sea. Like Coquimbo's a city that has like beach and stuff. Like it's a fisher like ish thing, and one of like the biggest things I did, and when I was like living there, and when I was there for like 2021, I used to go to the beach and just talk to myself and like find out stuff, and that was like one of the things I did in order to like help like mental like problems of like mentality stuff and things. So it also helped that like one of my best friends that lives in America, that was one of my classmates, came here like during July. So I just talked with him a lot. He like also competes in soccer, like you guys call it there.
Yeah, you could say football. You could say the right way. I'm Ethiopian. That's what we call it. So
okay, let's go. In football, he like is a coach. He coaches like little kids in like Barcelona Academy. So like we just talk a lot of like football and like mentality and like how you coach people, and I think that helped me a lot also. Shout out to Humberto, Grande Humberto.
Shout out.
So that helped me a lot to like settle a lot of like mentality things that were wrong in my mind.
Well, I think that's a good transition into maybe some of the stuff outside of Melee. You know, you talked about how you played PES, you know, Pro Evolution Soccer. Shout out. You have a friend who plays soccer or football, excuse me. I see it now. I'm doing the American thing now. Look at me. Wishy-washy out here, man. So, I mean, is that one of your hobbies outside of the game? I mean, what are some of the things you do when you're not playing Melee, basically?
I'm probably thinking about Melee whenever I'm not doing it. But
yeah, you'd be surprised how many players say that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I watch my team play football. We're in first division. We were like almost relegated last year. So like we're doing good this year, so it's fine.
What's your team?
I call that Coquimbo Unido, which is Coquimbo United.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, and I watch that, and then I play other games, like sometimes casually. Probably just like chatting in Discord. I've gotten a lot in like playing Pokemon Nuzlocke because I watch a lot of like streams and videos of like people playing them. So I just got into like playing some. I feel like that's pretty much it. I just hung out with friends at college, study a lot.
Yeah,
now that I study.
Yeah, I feel that. Trust me.
Yeah.
I think another question I always love to ask, like, what type of music people are into, because you know music is a window to the soul, I feel like. So what are you usually listening to?
I'm usually listening to like, well, probably like something I got into it. Like I got into like Earth, Wind and Fire. Like
let's go. Okay, let's go.
I started listening to that, and then I have like a playlist of like everything. I legit have like anime openings, cumbia, which is like a genre of like music like in Argentina. It's really common. I have like another like pop. I have like one of my favorite artists is a pop musician, which is Eden. I don't know if you've probably heard him. He's from Ireland. I got a lot into like listening to Bruno Mars, and I just like listened to a lot of things and a lot of stuff that I probably enjoy. I just sit down on Spotify and just look at like the Discovery Weekly playlist, and I just like listen to that. Add onto the playlist, and we just roll with it.
That's awesome. We talked a little bit about how Melee, how you learned from Melee when you went through that stressful period at a young age going to America. Are there any other lessons that you've taken to Melee that have helped you outside of the game? Because I know Melee is so all encompassing for us, you know?
Yeah. The biggest one is like, I have two actually. The first one is like, Melee taught me how to study. So like, it was really easy for me to like learn how to learn out of stuff because of Melee. I think that's really important for me. And the second one is like, I'm more of like a mental reassurance of like, if I propose myself to do like anything else, I can do it because I've already done it in Melee. Like, probably like 15-year-old me or 14-year-old me would never like thought I was gonna be top 100 one day, you know? Because I used to like read them on like somewhere on my bed, of like reading like every blurb on my phone of like the entire rankings of, like 2015. I was like, they would be really cool if I would be there one day, but I probably never will because I probably never will travel. And I was really good at like knowing that, like reassuring myself that I can just do whatever my mind can like wander to. And I think that's pretty much it. Like having like the mental reassurance of like knowing that if I put enough like hours, enough effort, I can just do whatever I want to like propose to myself I want to do.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely understand where that like confidence can come from, because if you're out here doing an incredible feat like making top 100, which in any region, let alone, you know, your region, is an accomplishment, I'm sure that translates to other things as well.
Yeah.
Do you think that you would have that type of confidence if you never found Melee, or do you think that that's something that, you know, is the luck of the draw that you found this game and it's led to you being who you are today?
Probably not, but I probably would have like stumbled upon like this feeling of like empowerment of like knowing like I can do it. I feel like that would have came like earlier or like a bit later than when it happened. But I think it would eventually like would have happened. But I feel like Melee being there, just like teaching me like a lot of like I need to take care of myself, like being respectful with oneself and like accepting the stuff. I think that's probably like a lot that helped me, and it probably never would have happened. Like learning that I don't need to punish myself and being too harsh on myself just because of stuff. I feel like that would have never happened had I not stumbled into Melee.
Do you find yourself, you know, being a little rough on yourself on things outside of Melee? Because I know some players, they'll beat the hell out of themselves in Melee, and then like in their life, which could be a mess, it could not be, you know, they're just like, who cares? You know what I mean? But then they miss like an edge guard and they're like, I'm the worst ever, you know? But there's some players where it's like both, where it's just like a mentality thing. What was it like?
I'm definitely both.
Okay, word.
I've gotten like better throughout the years and like outside of melee stuff. But like 2019 me or 2020, I was like, oof. I was really harsh on myself, especially preparing for like our SAT, which at the time was called PSU. So I really want to get like a good college and like go to Santiago with melee. So I was really harsh on myself at that time. I got really mad or like really sad because of it, and I gotta like accept like that really doesn't matter. So I feel like that's really important for me. Even today, I'm like, sometimes I just like hope in the loop of like being harsh on myself, but sometimes I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. But I can learn from this, like from this period, like that I'm here right now.
Yeah,
I feel like that's important.
That's definitely like an important thing to learn. I feel like, especially at a young age, to learn that is super, super important because life only gets harder, as they say, from here.
Yeah.
You were talking about playing other games. You were saying you played Minecraft competitively, which I didn't even know. I'm not a gamer. To be honest, I'm more of a sports guy. So Melee is like my game. Like, I didn't even know you could play that competitively. What does that even mean? Like, how do you play Minecraft competitively?
It just used to like PvP, like 1v1 in like arena, and just played. And I just to play like this game mode that's called UHC, which stands for ultra hardcore. Wow. It's just like Minecraft without regenerating like health and just healing like certain healing items.
So you're trying to like kill each other then? You're trying to hit each other? Okay, so it's like a fighting game?
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay.
Man, like Minecraft PvP is just like fighting games. There's like even some tech in like the game itself.
Okay.
I don't want to get into like intricacies, but like you can do like cool stuff with it. Like there's strafing, you can just like there's like certain items that you can use to like help yourself to like win, etc.
That's sick.
And and I got like to speak like how I was speaking right now, like with an accent, like American one, because I used to hop in like TeamSpeak with like other friends like play Minecraft that were like around my age group, and I played Minecraft and we're from America, and I was like the only guy from Chile. And I sometimes still talk to them. I talked to one like last night, actually.
That's awesome.
Like we messaged each other. Yeah, they still like keeping contact. I've yet to meet them IRL though.
Oh, you got to make that happen.
I gotta make that happen.
Yeah.
It never like what's the word? It never like gets to the point where like we can meet up with each other to like play or like hang out. So I'm just waiting for like whenever it happens, it'll probably happen.
I'm sure it'll happen. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I guess another question then would be, have you like played any other fighting games and try to be competitive in those, like Street Fighter I know just came out, or Guilty Gear?
I tried getting into Dragon Ball in 2018 or 2019.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah. I played for like online ladder. I never got really good, but the game was fun. But then I was like, at that time, I was like starting to get good at Melee. So I was like, if I'm probably going to get good at Melee, I probably shouldn't like double game. So like, I did play Ultimate for a bit in 2020. And whenever we have like tournaments, like Melee and Ultimate, I usually enter both. Just because like supporting the scene, even if like we're not like that, like related to each other, like, pretty much. Like there's not like much crossover over. But I like keeping up with like the ultimate Chilean ultimate scene. Like I look at all like the brackets and like know every top player, like what to play. And I think that's fun for me at least. I played a game of watching Ultimate because he's easy and carried me a lot. I played during online pandemic and I quit because I had to play versus a Minmin from Bolivia who had like the worst internet ever. So I just like, okay, I'm done.
Just called it a day.
I called it quits.
That's so funny. That leads us to two more questions before we wrap it up. This has been a fantastic interview. I've been enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, me too.
The first question is the Michigan connection question. This is when I bring a question from someone in our Michigan scene. Today is going to be from Robert, our local Fox main, who's cracked on both box and controller. He wants those people to know. So I'm going to let him know. You know what I'm saying? He's a homie. And he was wondering if you had any, like, when you grew up, did you watch any, like, Smash combo videos that really led to your play style?
I don't want to say led to my play style because I played completely opposite.
Yeah.
I watched Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
And that shit blew my mind.
Incredible.
To this day? Yeah. To this day, I haven't seen Arika Noobs. I've never finished it like entirely. I always finish at like minute 7 because I just get bored and I just like start playing. I've never seen it like all the way through.
Yeah.
But Dark was like a really big inspiration for me. Like learning fast, I was like, oh, this guy moves fast. I want to be fast.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like probably the biggest combo video. Like here, I'm probably never gonna do a combo video myself because I'm really like, I really want my combos to be like really polished, no mistakes. So like I can't really like set up on like some combos being like,
Mm-hmm.
And I always think about my Fox being like, yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't do like many flashy stuff. I just do the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I always shape my way of like playing into like being the most consistent way to win, rather than like being the most consistent way to get like cool clips. Even though sometimes like try to go for them and fail miserably because I don't have experience with it.
Oh, I feel that. I feel like you're like your own hardest critic when it comes to combo vids. I'm the same way where I just like I'll hit something, I'm like, oh, that could have been cool, and then I watch it again, I'm like, I'm not posting that. That was just
lame. Like that's the reason I don't post combos on like Twitter. Like I just post them like super rarely. I posted one yesterday actually.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was a fire combo. Yeah, the little left in. Yeah, a little left in there. Yeah.
I missed the grab. I was like, I can let that combo pass. It was like an 8, so I was like, yeah, fine. It would have been a 10 if it didn't miss the grab. But
my last question. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off there.
No, I was just gonna mention like I'm usually like super critic, and I just want to like show good combos rather than like, you know, me missing like 2 tech chases.
Yeah,
because it like doesn't satisfy me.
Yeah, it has to be like so clean that there's no holes or anything, right?
Yeah.
I feel that. My last question for you would be on legacy. This is a question that I ask a lot of people. What do you want your legacy to be, and is it important to you?
I feel like this used to be important for me, like here in Chile.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always get in my mind, like, am I the Chilean Go? The melee one. And I'm like, oh, I'm probably already am, but I don't want to like say that publicly. It's like, I feel like thinking about that legacy depends a lot on public perception.
Mm-hmm.
So like thinking about it's kind of weird. At least for me, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like weird for me to think about like what my legacy wants to be like. I kind of want to, my like first starting point of like wanting to be good here was like passing Gino.
Mm-hmm.
So like I want to break like this record, quote unquote, of like being the best 2 years in a row because no one has done it to that point. And I'm almost there. I need to wait. Yeah, I'm almost there. I need this year to be number 1, and then I beat him. But like after that, I kind of want, if I get to like travel more and like compete more in the States, I want to like win super majors. I want to win a super major. I feel like that's the first step, and then from there probably win another one, and then get number 1 in the world, and then pass Armada. You know,
yeah,
that's probably like the end goal because he's probably like the only one that like compared to like coming from my circumstances, like coming far away and getting being the best there. I feel like it has like less impact for me to like, you know, pass Mango because he's been living there for like 20 years or more. So like comparing myself to like people that were in similar circumstances, like at the point I'm standing right now, I think that's really important. But eventually I just want to win a lot. I want to win trophies and like show them to like kids when I'm like 80 years old.
That's awesome, man. Well, I want to say thank you so much for this interview. That was a pleasure. Are we going to see you at anything soon? What are your next tournaments?
There's a tournament down here. I'm going next week. I don't know if I'm traveling this year. Probably not. Next year, it depends. I don't think so either. But if an opportunity comes, I'll take it. I had offers this year in January that I denied because I want to get into that for a bit. Less like I didn't think I was mentally ready to like compete again because I feel like my mental is like whenever an opportunity comes, I need to be ready because there's so little. I just need to accept it. But at that point, I was not ready at all. I just came back and like it was kind of like I don't know. I feel like if I come back now, it's probably will be the same, and I just don't really need another rematch for now. I just need to sit on like how I lost to Slowking for a bit and just let that sink in and like be super like calm, learn a lot, and mature mentally. I feel like that's been one of like the biggest like progress I've made this year. even if gameplay wise I haven't made a lot of progress, but standing on like the mental part of things was really important for me. So like I think I sometimes I regret like I denied the offer, but like I feel like overall it's been better for me as a player and as a person. So yeah.
Well, whenever you do choose to travel or whenever those opportunities come, I wish nothing but the best for you. This
Thank you.
has been Items On. I'm Ethiopium. We were here with Chape. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great night.